Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Now, I want to deal with a very, very interesting topic that I believe that you will learn out of it, and that is dealing with the dynamics of quiet people, dealing with the dynamics of quiet people in life. And I'm sure many of you have actually said, how do you deal with quiet people? Because we don't know what they're thinking, we don't know what they're doing. But I want us to speak about understanding quiet people and the dynamics of understanding them. Because when you understand quiet people, then you are able to know how to deal with them on day to day. And you are able to know if the quiet people are there in your team, maybe you are leading a team, and how do you deal with those? If quiet people are there as members of your family, and you understand them and how to deal with those. But before I start with that, I want just maybe to outline the personality types of human beings. And I'm sure you would have heard about what we call introverts. You would have heard about what we call extroverts as well. But there are three types of personalities actually, including something that we call ambivert. Ambivert, which is just a neutral part of either you are introvert or extrovert, but the middle part of it, whereby you have people that are sometimes behaving introvertly, and while sometimes within the same personality, the person can behave like an extrovert as well. And you having those we call them ambivert. Ambivert, if you want to call it that way, ambivert. So I want us just to outline a little bit about that so that we can actually make an understanding of quiet people around us. Now, if we speak about introverts, you know that introverts are those people that recharge in solitude, people that recharge in quietness. They recharge when they're alone. These are the people that like what we call a me time a lot. They'll sit on their own side away from people, and that's how they recharge their lives. And there's nothing wrong about that. And I want us to not to be judgmental about introverts. We need to understand that they like recharging on their own. They like the me time and they want to be alone in order to recharge in their lives. There's nothing wrong about that. And I want us to understand that. Now, the second group of people is what we call extroverts. And extroverts are personality type whereby they thrive in social settings. These are type of people that cannot cope when they're all by themselves. So what they like to be amongst people, in the midst of people. These are party people generally. They want to be in gatherings. They want to be in parties. They want to be around individuals. These are people that are friendly. They've got a lot of friends as well. And these are people that are coping very well in big occasions as well. These are type of people. And generally, this type of people, they would actually even stand and talk in front of people without fearing anything. And generally, extroverts are thriving in social settings. Now, the one that I call ambivert, which is ambivert, ambivert is actually a balance of both worlds, a balance between an introvert and extrovert. So when we understand that, but I want us to focus on introverts, which is now the people that are on the quieter side. Now, I want just to outline some characteristics of them today, which I think that it will be very important for us to understand characteristics of in what we call introverts, people that don't thrive on social settings. They rather recharge on in solitude. They want to be alone. They want to be sole, and they want to recharge from that area or that perspective of being alone. And there are characteristics of these people. The first characteristic is that this type of people are very insightful, and insightful in the sense that while they are alone, they are very much deep in thinking to an extent that they know a lot of things. When they speak with a lot of insightfulness because they would have thought deeply, they would have actually been alone to reflect on issues so that when they give an input, they become very, very insightful. The second characteristic is that they're nurturing in nature, generally because they are the people that are careful around other people. They're caring. They're having a caring nature or a nurturing nature that will care for others, that will nurture others, that will make sure that others are okay. And these are type of people that thrive very well in nurturing others. The other characteristics of introverts is they're thoughtful. And I want to say that thoughtfulness in these people is because they are nurturing, then therefore they are thoughtful about others as well. They don't just say what they want, they always become careful on what they say to others so that they don't actually hurt others easily. This type of individuals, what they do is they think before they speak. This type of individuals, what they do is they don't want to regret by saying something that they didn't want to say. And that's very key, that you look at these characteristics and say, introverts are generally very thoughtful. The other characteristics of introverts is what we call reflective. They're able to reflect on each and everything that they do. Whatever they've done, whatever they're going to do, they reflect on it. And that is why they're able to correct the behaviors. They're able to look at where they've gone wrong and do it better tomorrow. They're able to reflect on their actions and realize that this needs to be corrected. They're very careful, and they're actually trading very carefully in everything that they do. They're very reflective in their walk, reflective in what they're thinking, reflective in their actions as well. And they don't just do things for the sake of doing. They always become considerate and say, I've reflected on this. I don't think this was supposed to be done this way. I can do it better next time. And they would actually look at doing it better next time. And that's what introverts. The other thing that is about introverts, that's a characteristics for introverts, is this type of personalities. They're very observant. And I'm sure you will realize that they will observe by seeing you once, they will remember you. They'll remember even where they've met you. They'll remember what were you doing, even if it's 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because they're very observant. And they're able to pick up things that not many people can pick up. Because I'm around them, they don't allow distractions around them. They don't allow disturbances. Because they are reflective people, as I've said earlier. They become very observant of situations, even when they're in the middle of the people. Because they come into their shell, they are able to observe what is happening. Introverts, if you are to speak to them after an occasion, they will tell you exactly what happened. They'll tell you exactly who was doing what and what time. They'll tell you exactly what happened at one time. Why? Because they are so observant, these people. And I've said that this type of personality is able to reflect and look at you once, and they'll remember you tomorrow. Why? Because they are so observant. And they'll remember as well what you have done when they met you, and how you greeted them when you met them, and how you behaved when you met them. And they will remember that, because this type of personality of introverts, they're very, very observant. But there's something about introverts as well. They're visionary in nature. These are the people that are great minds in the sense of planning, because they don't just jump into doing things. Unlike extroverts, of course, would actually think now and do it now. But these people, because they are reflective enough, they are becoming visionaries. And they're very visionary in the sense that anything that they do, because they don't rush doing it, they will actually plan it in advance and have a vision that is clear for them. And start from the beginning and say, I want to reach that vision. And they will build actually some resources around that so that they can be able to build towards that vision. Now, introverts generally are very, very visionary in nature. And I want to emphasize that, because this is one of the characteristics of introverts. The other characteristic of introverts, of course, is that they are engaged. Because sometimes we ignore the fact that they become engaged, these people. They are engaging. And they are not just shying away from social meetings. They're not shying away actually from social settings, but they're able to engage. And introverts are people that will engage you and you'll be surprised. And they will engage you in issues of importance, in issues that are priorities in life, that are progressive in your life as well. They will engage you. And they are very highly engaged in this regard, whereby because they are thoughtful in a way, and they are reflective as well, they are able to be insightful to you in the sense of a topic that you engage in. They will engage you. They are not afraid to engage people. And we sometimes in life judge people that are introverts, that are withdrawn, and as if they are people that are not friendly. But I want to emphasize that these are the people that are able to engage, though. They will engage you when you need to engage them. And they will speak to you when they need. But they speak only when it's necessary to speak. And that is why you cannot totally ignore the fact that they are engaged. And that's introverts for you. The other characteristics of introverts, of course, is they are reserved in nature. Now, the reservations that they have is because they want their own space. It's because they want their own privacy, where they will be able to be observant and reflective. They'll be thoughtful as well. We have said this, that is very important, that you give them space. And they are so reserved, particularly in social settings. And that is why many people will judge them and say they are not friendly. But it's not necessarily that they're not friendly, but they are reserved in nature. And we need to understand them, that because they are reserved in nature, we need to know how to deal with them. And I want to emphasize that because many times we ignore the fact that these are the quieter people in our lives. And they are quieter because they are reserved in nature. And that's their characteristics. When you understand that they are reserved in nature, you will understand them even more. And you will be able to deal with them in a better manner because you would be understanding who the type of people are. Lastly, characteristics of introverts is that they are very tranquil people, very peaceful people. They are people who are calm-headed or cool-headed, if you may call it, because they are very calm in everything, because they are tranquil as well. They don't rush doing things. They become peaceful even in the midst of crisis. They become peaceful in the midst of storm, and they are able to keep to bring what we call sanity into a situation. Why? Because they are very tranquil in nature. They are having an inner peace generally, and these are the people that we call introverts. Now, before I check out right now, I want to remind you of our social media platforms, because I want to check out and we'll take part 2 of this great topic. But I want you to visit us on our social media platform, our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. Please visit those, like those pages, and follow us on them. And also click notification buttons, of course, so that you may be reminded when we post a media video of this kind. Don't forget our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please also follow us on our TikTok account and click notification buttons on those as well. I want to check out right here and say join us for part 2 of this great topic, understanding the dynamics of understanding quiet people. May the good Lord bless you and allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.